James Gunn's Guardians of the DC Universe.
It's just Superman.
There's a lot to unpack with this one, and things might get a little weird.
Quit messing around!
I'm not messing around, I'm doing important stuff.
In one of my very first videos, I talked about how Star Trek the Motion Picture was the last of the old Hollywood movies.
Am I seeing things?
Not unless I am too. Reverse all engines. All engines, reverse.
There's a lot to unpack in that statement, and you can go watch the early channel cringe later, but the main reason I bring it up now is because back then movies were epic in scale. They felt huge and consequential. Now, obviously, The Wrath of Khan is a far better film, but for all its faults, the first Star Trek was bigger, more epic.
So's your mom.
That's one of the 3 or 4 problems I have with James Gunn's Guardians of the DC Universe. It suffers from the same modern day issue. It feels small, lightweight. 1978's Superman the movie was a massive, epic film, and not just because of Christopher Reeve. It was peak old school filmmaking. It would take its time. It had the wisdom and the patience to know when to let the audience breathe where it needed to. Just to take in the simple wonders of the most basic things. A perfect example of this is when Superman takes Lois over Metropolis at night. We got to see the world through her eyes and marvel at what it would be like just to fly. A beautiful, magnificent moment with a magnificent John Williams score underneath.
That would be lovely to include here, but no, thanks YouTube.
It's genuine moments like that that help connect you to the characters, relate to them, and it gives more weight to the stakes in the film in that critical third act.
But now our brains are so numb from the constant dopamine hits.
Right, Gunn's Superman is largely a constant barrage of noise, and one of the biggest problems with this is that you don't give the audience any time to actually absorb things, let things sink in and connect. Gunn gives us 2 moments basically, one with Lois, the argument scene, and one with Pa Kent, but it wasn't enough. And as a consequence, story-wise, there's a lot at stake at the end of the movie, but you never got to feel any of it. The Earth is literally getting swallowed up by an interdimensional rift, and it was like, okay, sure, whatever, this will get resolved somehow with little or no consequence. Meh.
It also didn't help that Gunn was constantly diffusing important moments with ill-timed humor. Even when he had his hands on crucial story beats, he'd immediately undercut them.
Exactly. It actually kind of started to feel like a crutch or a band-aid, especially at the end when Luthor's monologuing, as villains do, and is violently interrupted by Krypto. It kind of gave me the impression that Gunn had no idea how to write his way out of the moment and chose to Deus Ex Krypto his way out of it. Either way, it was another potentially important character moment wasted, and the film is full of those. While Nicholas Hoult did an awesome job with what he was given, Lex Luthor was also another problem in this movie. He's supposed to be cold, calculating, someone far above base things like childish emotionalism. But this Lex, although light years better than Jesse Eisenberg's version, is a capricious, unstable child knocking over pencil holders to the floor just to watch his little toadies scramble all over themselves to clean up after him. The real Lex wouldn't be bothered with these people's very existence, let alone be remotely entertained by their yes-man antics. Lex Luthor would want the tools around him to be cold, hard, loyal, efficient to a fault in carrying out his will. Administrative mercenaries, if you want. He has the wealth and power to do exactly that, and to build his world around him exactly the way that he wants. He would have no tolerance for weak-minded milquetoast fools. And lastly, yeah, I grant you this is just a comic book movie, but there were a lot of pretty basic plot holes. At one point, Superman's being choked with nanobots, cutting off his oxygen, but he doesn't need oxygen. He can fly in space. Mr. Terrific, who, yes, was absolutely awesome, and Lois stormed the beach stronghold, leaving hundreds of bodies everywhere in a very Guardians-like montage, but when they come out, it's now nighttime. There are no bodies anywhere, and the government clearly didn't respond with force, and everything's all cleaned up, and Mr. Terrific's vehicle is untouched on the beach. Oh, and wait, Supergirl's presence by itself is a problem.
How so?
Granted, we don't know quite yet about this particular Supergirl's backstory, but if Clark's message from his parents was missing that crucial information about him being sent to Earth to go full Viltrumite, Wouldn't she know something about that? She obviously wouldn't know the exact content of that specific message, but if she were sent over with any kind of knowledge about her home and her culture, she would have said something to Clark already. She would be completely aware of their purpose for being there.
Why does this Lex hate Superman?
Another good point. The world is full of metahumans who could foil Lex's plans, but why does he have it specifically in for this guy? That's never been explained. Nitpicking aside, it's a really decent movie, but it wasn't the great movie it needed to be. The casting was absolutely perfect across the board. Rachel Brosnahan is probably the best Lois Lane we've ever had. She was intelligent, insightful, a strong character, but not a girl boss. This film is not woke.
Although in hindsight, Margot Kidder's Lois Lane was a little prophetic.
Why are you here? There must be a reason for you to be here.
Yes, I'm here to fight for truth and justice in the American way.
You're going to end up fighting every elected official in this country.
The conflict in the film that takes place that everyone on the interwebs is going, oh, it's the Middle East, that's not a thing.
Oh, no. 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 No, 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 no.
If the Middle East hadn't flared up recently as it did, it would have been Ukraine instead. There's always some sort of conflict going on in the world. Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. Quit trying to read into things, people.
It's just a movie, guys.
Anyway, I'd say James Gunn's Guardians of the DC Universe is a 7 out of 10. But what did you guys think? Let us know in the comments and stay fresh, cheese bags.
Did this review ever get weird?
Said the talking dog.
Fair enough.